has been very proficient thus far in the series. And so once again, playoffs, best of 3, guys. Elimination game, VoidBoys versus paiN Gaming. paiN taking game 2 in 29 minutes. VoidBoys in around 45 to 50 remaining. Taking game 1. And the winner will go on to face Wheel Wreck while whistling. And why the hell all of a sudden... Oh, we had a Dota patch in between, guys. So just give me a quick second. Just going to... there was a patch in between games here, so I got to mute my announcer once again. So hopefully get that fixed up. And right back into the draft. Once again, paiN Gaming, same exact bans as the first 2 games. VoidBoys, same exact bans. Or actually, paiN same as game 2. A little different from game 1 where they banned out Void Omni Knight. And they will pick up the Undying once again for Ryu. So Ryu very effective on that Undying in the mid game. Wasn't super effective early on. Got 2 kills, but VoidBoys really did look good early on, especially considering their lineup. It was more the mid game misplays from paiN on the Ember Spirit that really helped them to fall, and the very nice play and positioning from Baga on the Disruptor to dissuade any chrono aggression from VoidBoys. But VoidBoys is going to go right back to their bread and butter, except they're going to take the Vengeful Spirit for themselves. VSW played up on that Vengeful in the first 2 games, and VoidBoys with second pick here are going to be able to grab that up. So prioritizing the Undying was paiN Gaming here, and Void not too worried about it. It really didn't do too much to them early on. It was more that the combo of the Disruptor Bat Rider that shut down the Void and the Ember Spirit. So things still looking to get their way in terms of VoidBoys here, looking to take this game 3. Once again, they'll ban out the Brew and the Tidehunter, 2 heroes they just really don't like to face. And some of that is because VoidBoys certainly do like to ball up at least as 4. Tiburon usually a little bit later does get involved, but they do like to create space. They are kind of a 4 Protect 1 team for VP, one of the few North American 4 Protect 1 teams. And Tiburon is a hard farmer, so their Void usually goes to that first role, that safe lane 1 position role. So they usually look to create space with the other heroes. Vengeful, definitely a good hero to do so. And also does have the swap initiation as well as the defensive swap. Helps through the chrono with that Wave of Terror. Very long range there. And actually early pickup on the Lion here from paiN Gaming. By the way, guys, this is a solo cast for game 3, so unfortunately Mike Loris not able to make it for this one, but I did have the privilege of casting with him for the first 2 games, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. You can follow him over on Twitter at Mike Loris, and of course I am RHP's your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. You can follow me at MRP_Dota. But game 3, this is a decider, guys. Winner goes on to the American Bracket Finals, and we are in the finals of JDL Season 4, guys, so get hype. I got a lot more games coming your way as well. Just a little bit of quick note on that. Tomorrow we've got 3 games in the Europe Division 2 finals. That's SS versus BBC. Definitely excited to see Weehaw and his crew back in action. That's Balkan Bears Corleone, of course. We got Fab 5 versus the London Conspiracy, and also Vega versus PR, which should be a very, very closely matched game. PR looking good today versus Hellraisers, who's considered to be a tier 1.5 team, but Hellraisers did play a best of 5 before that, so perhaps a little bit mentally tired for their matchup versus PR, and for me it was easy rares, easy life. But either way, continuing into the draft, once again we will have Void banning out the Wisp. So IO going to be taken out for the 3rd time in a row. Definitely something they don't want to play against, but they're going to ban out Baga's Disruptor here, so definitely something put a wrench into their plans last game, as they weren't able to get off any meaningful chronos. Not a single one all game garnered them a kill, except for the one bot lane that got Ryujin, but there were 2 return kills going the way of paiN there, so nice rotations in from them. They're able to bring down 2 supports just for their 1 Undying, so still good trades all game long for paiN Gaming. And here paiN will pick up his Invoker again. He played very well on this Invoker Quaz Wex in game 1. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for that once again, or if he opts for an Exort build here. They are lacking a little bit of push thus far, and I certainly do think the Sunstrike with the Chrono is very, very good, so I would expect an Exort build here from VoidBoys. And paiN not playing very well on that Ember, despite it being a hero he plays fairly often, so they will go back to the bread and butter here. Tiburon with the Void, and of course paiN on that mid lane Invoker, and they should have a fairly good time thus far, at least looking at it. Interesting to see paiN Gaming prioritize this Lion so early on, and they will do that, but hopefully they are able to make it work for themselves. And there will be a Dazzle pickup here for paiN Gaming as well. So Dazzle Lion, not a terrible support combo, will be able to be pretty strong in that tri-lane with the Undying if they run it aggressively. And also the Heal Bomb will be very nice as a physical damage nuke. And of course the Grave to keep anyone up if necessary. But you probably will see the Dazzle maybe 1 level in Grave and max out the Shadow Wave, perhaps a couple levels in Poison Touch as well, as it will be an aggressive tri-lane. And we will see what the response is from VoidBoys. Skywrath Mage banned out, so perhaps that's why they pick up the Invoker. The Skywrath Mystic Flare Chrono combo not available to them. And Gyro ban also from paiN Gaming. A little bit interesting. Gyro, not a hero I consider very strong. Does synergize fairly well with the Chrono. It's pretty much a free homing missile as well as call down. So maybe support Gyro would have been pretty good there. They did buff the support Gyro in a sense, allowing the homing missile to be force staffed. He also got a small buff elsewhere. I can't exactly remember what that was, but either way, Gyro was buffed in the support role, if nothing else. And I'm just going to check quickly. Yeah, call down area of effect increased from 450 to 600. So they did that, give that nice big range. They also nerfed the slow on the first missile, but increased the slow on the second missile. So overall, it's better because you have that wider range to often hit your second missile. So basically, if the first missile hits on the borderline, you will be able to get out, but that was always the case with call down. So support Gyro getting a nice buff there, but they have the Sunstrike, and now they've added the Ancient Apparition, which paiN Gaming banned out last game, to couple with that Void. So a lot of global presence with the Sunstrike, with the Ice Blast into the Chronosphere. Basically, Tiburon will be able to get active and will be able to look for ganks on his own and have support elsewhere from his Invoker and his Ancient Apparition. And the Centaur will be picked up here for paiN Gaming, so that's a nice little bit of initiation for them. We'll be able to pick off this Ancient Apparition pretty quickly, but everyone else isn't too squishy. Perhaps they're able to pick off the Invoker as well. There is the Finger of Death follow-up. There's also the Dazzle heal into the Centaur that does a decent amount of damage. And of course the Stampede is nice, especially when you have Tombstone on your side to slow the opponents as well. So Centaur, not a bad pickup here, but coupling the Centaur with the Undying, I feel that past 20 minutes they're gonna have really big lack of damage for the lineup of paiN Gaming. So I'm certainly favoring VoidBoys thus far. VoidBoys on paper look like they have tons of pick off potential. They will ban out the Morphling here, so 4DR won't be able to pick that up for this game. And the Puck ban comes out from paiN Gaming. Puck also very nice offlaner to add to this lineup. And we did see Mercy Please play that up a couple games ago to great effect in a dual offlane where he did a lot of work versus paiN. And VoidBoys was able to methodically eliminate them from that match and annihilate them. So very well played in Game 1 from VoidBoys. Even better play from paiN in Game 2, knowing their limits of their lineup and their timing windows and bringing them down in 29 minutes. So it will be interesting to see who takes this Game 3. Fairly evenly matched up here. Both teams will certainly be underdogs against Wheel, the way Wheel have been playing recently, but they should be formidable foes regardless. So Slark will be the final pickup from VoidBoys. Interesting pickup here. This looks like it may be an offlane Void for once for Mercy Please, and certainly with the addition of the Invoker and the Ancient Apparition in terms of the Sunstrike and the Ice Blast, you really don't need to farm this Void in the safe lane. So it will be interesting to see if Tiburon goes for that Slark, and we will see Mercy Please take up that Void. But I do like this pick as well. So much global aggression from VoidBoys, so much presence there for single pickoffs, and you definitely don't want to fight into a 5-man lineup of paiN. You do want those pickoffs, but they will round out the lineup with some hard farm for paiN Gaming. They are going to look to take it late for certain. Picking up the Naga Siren here for 4DR. King RD is going to play in that perhaps safe lane Centaur with the aggressive try of Ryu, Baga, and the Dazzle, which will be picked up here. GrenXD is not playing right now. Who the hell is the last player for paiN? What's wrong with me right now? But it will be picked up by VSW. That's the one who has been playing the Vengeful recently. And Mercy Please will pick up the Void, so it looks like it will be an off-lane Void. For VoidBoys, very unusual for them. Tiburon actually picking up a 1-position Invoker, and paiN picking up the Slark. So probably will still go towards the mid lane for Tiburon and put the Slark in the safe lane, but perhaps just a little bit flexible in their roles is the VoidBoys. Thanks again for joining me, guys. This is game 3. I have my overlay up. And this is VoidBoys versus paiN Gaming. So on the side of the dire VoidBoys with the second pick with the Starladder Hounds. Pretty cute courier. Not bad. paiN picking up the Slark here. Is going to grab Salve and Tangles and a Ring of Protection. So we'll go towards lane. Perhaps they run duels here. Fly picking up the Vengeful Spirit. Denying that from VSW. Tiburon is going to pick up the Invoker towards that mid lane. We'll see Mercy Please with Omega Owner on the Void and the Ancient Apparition respectively. So it looks like we'll see dual lanes from VoidBoys. And for the side of paiN, Baga going to be playing on the Lion. King RD on the Centaur Warrunner. VSW with the Dazzle in hand. Ryujin once again on the Undying, and 4DR in the mid lane on the Naga Siren, looking to combat Tiburon's Naga from game 1 in the mid lane. And we'll see how he fares up against perhaps what will be the Invoker in the mid lane for Tiburon. Mercy Please was going to rotate down towards that bot rune with VSW, but it looks like both runes are going to be secured by perhaps paiN Gaming, I want to say. However, Dazzle and Ryu a little bit out of position, and it makes sense. Ryu should have been down here at the rune, and unfortunately that will spell that 100 gold and 100 experience will go the way of Mercy. So that's a nice pickup for him early on. He will need to find good farm in this lane, at least levels wise, to get that early chrono up. He will have some assistance from both the Sunstrike and the Ice Blast, as I mentioned in the draft, and Fly as well as paiN should be able to create some space as well with this Slark. He is very effective in the mid game, and I really hate this hat. I think it makes him look terrible. Makes him look like an old woman. Makes him look like Red Riding Hood on Slark. I guess it's not badass at all. Take this thing off. You just blinking a bit, you know. Why is he allowed to blink during the pause? He's totally not frozen. Is Venge blinking too? I don't know if Venge blinks at all with those bloody eyes. Either way, hopefully we can get into this one. This is a deciding game 3. Pings are out here. And just going to change something quick, a little audio setting here for you guys. And hopefully those of you in Dota TV can hear me. Either way, it looks like we'll get this game 3 underway now. Mercy Please gonna grab up this bounty rune top. He has the time walk as well to get away if need be. He'll probably catch a decay stack from Ryu. He's actually not gonna skill that up quite yet. But either way, Fly is gonna rotate down to the offlane dual lane with paiN, and VSW gonna pick up the dual lane with Ryujin on the opposite side of the map. And there should be some kill potential in both lanes, certainly in this lane with the Centaur as well as the Lion. But Slark does have the Dark Pact to purge one off if he gets it off in a timely manner. Mid lane should be a slight advantage for Tiburon. He is gonna go perhaps the Quas Exord here. I would expect that with the Void on his team, especially in a dual lane. Already some harass being traded. Bot lane return going to be skilled up level 1 by King RD, so they won't quite have the stuns yet. Magic Missile going to be caught by Baga. No pounce though going to be committed from paiN, and it probably would have been ill-advised to do something along those lines. But Mercy Please is going to find some farm top lane as the pull will be occurring from Omega Owner here. And Ryu gonna put some harass into him. He doesn't have boots, but walking pretty quickly at this 310 MS. Cold Feet goes out to deter any aggression from him. And Fly is gonna rotate out, perhaps look for some pulls of his own. No stack here quite yet. In fact, there is a dire Observer Ward blocking up this camp. Placed perhaps by the Vengeful for Fly. Fly gonna rotate around to the mid lane, perhaps look for a courier snipe here. Shouldn't be coming anytime soon unless 4DR is looking to crow. They don't have too much kill potential with the Invoker as well. Mercy Please gonna farm up some of these stacks. Looks like a pull was attempted to the large camp here. paiN gonna be rotated out of lane here. Baga does have a Hex at the ready, so maybe we'll look to Hex him and deny the rune, but nice play by paiN to use the fog to his advantage. Meanwhile, 4DR gonna get cold snapped in the river. And Tiburon was not able to deny the rune from him. Bounty going to be picked up, fills that bottle up for him. And being very safe with the courier as well. So Fly having to rotate back down to the bot lane. There will be a Hex here. Hoof Stomp is there as well. Double Edge. There will be a Magic Missile. Pounce back. One last right click from Baga is not enough. He's going to try and dive deep. He will get it. First blood going the way of Baga. Tower not going to be able to bring him down. Fly doesn't rotate in, so he's not going to find a return kill here. And the Brazilians drawing first blood here in game 3. Looking pretty good for them. King RD gonna get a nice assist there. It's actually gonna be picked up by the Lion, who will build into his Tranquils now, so will be very sustainable in lane, and will be able to rotate over to the mid as well. They will have a little bit of kill potential onto Tiburon, but he's gonna throw a cold snap and a few right clicks into 4DR, who will be just fine for the time being. Looks like he's building into that Aquila with his Ring of Protection and the makings of a Wraith Band. Courier faring over just a Ring of Protection for the Tranquils for King RD as well. So a couple sets of Tranquils in this bot lane. Baga rotating back home to find the Tranquils of his own as well as TP. Mercy Please farming fairly well, 10-2. 11-2 on the Void to the 14-2 of the Centaur in his laning equivalent. And Chilling Touch is there. One big right click onto VSW. He will be able to time walk forward, but Soul Rip is there, as is the Grave. Mercy Please gets hit with a big Shadow Wave. He's going to have to time walk out. Decay is not there from the Undying. And Cold Feet will be there, but he'll put a few right clicks into Omega Owner. Cold Feet will proc. Mercy is salving up here. He can look to turn this. Doesn't get a first hit bash. And there is no Icy Vortex from the Ancient Apparition to buff up those time locks. And Mercy Please just going to trade a little bit with Ryu, but he's got a couple stacks in Decay now. Needs to really back off, hitting for 83 damage here. 40R is going to get tornadoed up and will get the rune denied. Nice play by Tiburon there. Doesn't end up getting it for himself, but doesn't have a bottle of his own, so certainly a good use of the tornado there. And 4DR will have to crow that bottle back to base for now. Meanwhile, everything else pretty much stagnant at this point. And paiN is going to look to find some farm in this bot lane, but not going to be able to do so. 40R, meanwhile, in the mid lane, catches a Magic Missile with the help of the Cold Snap as well. The Invoker finds a very nice kill there, and he does top the net worth chart, despite being a little bit under farm compared to that Naga. Magic Missile, Wave of Terror, Cold Snap, of course. And the Phase Boots even used to close the distance there. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to catch a kill onto Omega Owner. Mercy, next one to be aggressed upon. There are rotations in from Fly, however, he'll be just fine. And all series long, I haven't missed a damn kill. Apologies for those, but either way, barely caught that one mid lane. And top down will be Omega Owner falling on that Ancient Apparition. He's going to need levels pretty badly here. We'll take a look at the levels thus far. And he is right at the bottom of the chart, so a little bit unfortunate for this AA. Meanwhile, King RD aggressing into this tower bot lane. Baga will be postured up into the trees pretty aggressively, but the range creep scouted him out. So paiN will be just fine to know the positioning of his enemies. Fly going to rotate back towards the mid once again. 2 bottle charges up onto 40R. The tornado will be here, but the range creeps are going to, or the creeps should have scouted out Fly despite it being nighttime. He's actually not visible currently. But we'll have the Forged Spirit pop there. Quaswex Invoker. Sorry, I thought I saw the animation for that. But either way, 4DR is on the high ground, so he's fine just for now. Poison Touch goes out onto Fly. Riptide's going to hit him as well. There's the Cold Snap and the Magic Missile, though. The Dazzle should fall here. Tornado going to stop him from graving. Nice overlap there by Tiburon. Meanwhile, paiN maybe a little bit susceptible to this gank bot lane, but he does see Baga rotating in from the high ground despite it being nighttime. Baga did secure that rune there, so paiN not going to have any recovery mechanic. But in the meantime, Ryujin could get caught out top lane. There is a Chronosphere here, but he's very tanky. 796 health with that 1 decay stack. And no level 6 quite yet. On to paiN. Stampede is there with the Impale. Easy double edge. And King RD finds a kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Mercy Please not going to be able to aggress onto the Undying. 3-2 is your score for paiN Gaming. 7 minutes in. Take a look at the farm chart. very well is 4DR doing in the mid lane, as well as Ryu and the Centaur. 27 CS on both the Invoker and Mercy Please, so not doing poorly. And the Chrono will be committed top lane. There's the Cold Feet as well. That's going to proc easily, and actually the proc will be what drops him. Chilling Touch also helping out with that. paiN going to be hexed up bot lane and may go down a second time. Does get off the Dark Pack, but the Stomp is there. Oh, just a fraction of a second too early for the Centaur, and he did wait for that Dark Pack to proc, but he didn't wait for it to finish. Unfortunately, Mercy Please is going to get TP'd onto by Ryujin top lane. If they get one bash off, that's a Cold Feet proc, but not so lucky. And Fly will look to put some pressure onto the Dazzle here. Tiburon not building a Midas, is he? No, he's going straight into that Orchid for the Invoker, so certainly definitely a potent build on a Quas-Wex Invoker. Meanwhile, Mercy Please going to catch a Poison Touch, but will be able to back off unscathed. paiN has not found his level 6 yet. The Centaur is farming extremely well. 8 minutes in, 1900 gold. Has 2 kills that he's been involved in as well, both onto the Slark, I believe. And 4DR is going to catch a Cold Snap here, but there will be support from Baga, and support also rotating in from paiN, so everyone just going to back off for the time being. 4DR will be just fine towards that mid lane. King RD almost at the Blink Dagger here. paiN hasn't even been able to sit in lane at all, and only 9 kills. Meanwhile, in the top lane, once again, Mercy's going to fall here consecutively to, or subsequently to, the Vengeful, and Omega Owner going to go down as well. Meanwhile, the Radiant Courier was found perhaps by paiN or by Invoker in the mid lane, but paiN is going to drop here. Double Edge will be the last thing to finish him off. Fly rotates in. He's got a Wave of Terror, so he does scout out Baga, and he will be able to bring him down. Tornado is going to look for King RD here from Tiburon. Will he be able to land it? Will be interesting to see. He's holding onto it. There's the cooldown. And now King RD rotating to the jungle. Will Tiburon find him? He's going to get juked out behind the tree line. And the Tornado not going to be there. King RD will make it away. Wasted rotation from Tiburon. 7-4 is your score this far into the game. And paiN Gaming taking it very handily in the early game. Taking a look at the metrics. 3K in the way of net worth in their lead generated, as well as a 1500 experience lead. paiN has been completely shut down on this Slark. He's sitting below Fly, his Vengeful Spirit, in terms of net worth, and keeping him in that offlane has really been ineffective. I would have liked to see the Void in the offlane instead, and the Slark in the safe lane, but just not flexible enough with their roles, I guess. Tiburon doing very poorly in this game. There's the Earth Spike as well as the Tombstone here from Mercy Please. He'll be able to time walk out and should be just fine, however. And Smoke Gank wasted here. Dewarding going on mid from Omega Owner, as well as VSW picks up his Arcanes, and they will look to put some harass into this tiered 1 top lane. Meanwhile, everything else going to stagnate for the moment. 4DR has picked up his Aquila and has to have something else on this Naga Siren, but the, oh yeah, Courier went down with 1100 gold on that. So probably the makings of maybe bots, who knows. Either way, Naga been hindered a little bit. Maybe his Boots and Bottle was what was on the Courier. Well, that seems to make sense. Boots and Bottle 450 plus 700, so that's 1150. Meanwhile, in the jungle, they are going to catch out King RD with a Magic Missile, but he'll Stampede, looking for the kill onto Fly. He will cancel his salve there, but won't have any kill potential. Nice swap back from Fly. Double Edge going to do a lot of work, however. There still is the Shadow Dance. paiN going to take one more right click here. He will Shadow Dance himself up. Pounce is going to land, but a nice Shadow Wave from VSW. And that's a huge kill for the Dazzle. He's now level 8, almost level 9. And overall, that's the top of the experience chart. Tornado going to hit from long range. There's the Chrono as well as the EMP. And Ryu is going to fall here top lane. So nice little return kill for VoidBoys, but Slark doing very poorly for paiN. 1000 gold, so he will be able to finally finish up Treads here. But 11 minutes in, not what you want on your Slark. Level 5 is Omega Owner. He'll be 1 creep away from finding that Ice Blast that they need so desperately at this point. And interestingly enough, Tiburon opts for Quas-Wex once again. EMP works nice with the Chrono, but you need to be present, whereas Sunstrike can hit from across the map globally. So I really would have liked to see Quas Exort here. They also lack a lot of push. All of their heroes are basic right clickers. There's no ticks like Corrosive Breath, Liquid Fire. There's none of that to bring down. There's no extra units. So Really questionable build, I think. The Quaswex was certainly warranted and proven in game 1 up against the Ember Spirit and whatnot. But King RD, fresh new shiny Blink Dagger. Blinking. Hoof Stomp actually going to whiff onto Tiburon. There will be the Cold Snap as well as the EMP. Ice Blast going to land as well. King RD getting low. A Earth Spike, though, will sound off his retreat. And with the negative Urn Tick, he should shatter here, and he does. Tornado is going to fly and whiff onto Baga. They won't be able to continue on. But big misplay, missing that Hoof Stomp there from the Centaur, and things gonna go VoidBoys' way in that one. Very nice kill for them, very high priority target. And bounty rune gonna be found by Fly in the bot lane. He's got a smoke in hand as well. He's looking for a medallion, presumably, with that Sage's Mask. He's gonna find Baga here, and we'll get hexed up. A few right clicks into him, but no one is nearby, so Baga probably will back off after putting a little bit of harass into him. TP's in now, though, from King RD. Swap back onto Baga. There's the Magic Missile. Pounce. Dark Pact is there. Hoof Stomp going to be a little too early once again. paiN will purge that off. He's going to have to stampede back from King RD. paiN will have to back away as well. With Fly, does have the Shadow Dance if they look to aggress on him as well. Blink is going to be a little bit short here from King RD onto Fly, and so he won't look to aggress there. VSW is going to drop an Observer Ward, so perhaps they will look to find something. But in the meantime, Chrono is now available for Mercy Please again. Ice Blast at the ready from the Ancient Apparition. And TPs are down to the bot lane from Baga to join up with King RD, who does have those Tranquil Boots and is now almost at full health. So things looking very good for VoidBoys. But there's the Hex there from Baga. Jump forward, Hoof Stomp as well. Double Edge, Finger of Death. paiN just totally shut down thus far in this game. They're really going to need a lot of work from Mercy and Tiburon to get back in this one. Not that they are out of it. I mean, you take a look at the metrics, it's only a 3k net worth lead. Experience is pretty much on par, but taking a look at 4DR's farm, he's now got 2,700 gold. So is well on the way to his relic. Will be fairly late, as having that courier death really did mean a lot to hindering the farm of the Naga Siren. And 14 minutes in, 3k gold, not the best for the Naga, and will need a lot more here despite opting for that early Keela. Tornado goes out, whiffs onto the Lion, but will hit Ryu. EMP is there as well. Ice Blast going to shatter him. King RD is going to get pounced up as well, and will get off a stomp before dying. Baga was hit by the Ice Blast, and there is a time leap here, or time walk I should say, and one first bash. There's a Magic Missile, one more right click. Shadow Wave not going to be able to keep him up, and VSW very aggressively comes forward for a weave that no one can follow up. He'll get a Shadow Wave off, but paiN will finish him off under the Shadow Dance. And Mercy Please taking some tower harass, but will be able to leap out as well. 4-0, going the way of VoidBoys across the map, and now they are certainly back into this game, if not in the lead. We'll see the graph spike down, especially in terms of experience, towards 1,500 lead in their favor, and net worth quite a ways back in their way as well. 4-0, though, you see a 3,000 net worth swing, 3,500 experience swing going the way of VoidBoys, and they've certainly recovered well. Have any items come out on Mercy? Not yet, but it should be a Mask of Madness fairly soon for him. He's about 100 gold from that, and we probably will see him pick up a Morbid Mask here, unless he opts for something like a Maelstrom. But either way, he has a lot of kill potential with the AA available, as well as Tiburon assisting from outside the Chrono, but being present in the fights. And he has certainly been present in the fight. So that's one thing we did criticize in the first game, is that the Quaswex Invoker wasn't heavily involved. And he has been much more so in this game. So far, 12 kills for VoidBoys. He's been involved in 6 of them. So despite farming well in that mid lane, has been involved in 6 of them, is topping the net worth chart. And you will see that spike downwards to 1k net worth and advantage in terms of paiN, and 4k experience lead has been generated now by VoidBoys, so they're looking pretty good. Anything else in the way of items? King RD's Blink came out a long time ago. VSW has picked up a medallion. Fly has responded with a medallion of his own. Tiburon well on his way to his Orchid, does have 2 Oblivion Staffs. How much gold does he have? 565 gold to be exact, away from that Orchid now, so he'll have that within the next 2 minutes for sure, unless barring death. And he could run into a smoked up King RD in this top lane, who is with Baga, but Baga has no Finger of Death, so they should still be able to bring down pretty much any target with the Hoof Stomp as well as the Double Edge and the Earth Spike. I mean, 400 damage nuke from the Hoof Stomp. So 600 before resistance is there, and also the 260 from the Lion. But Lion going to be caught out by Tiburon here. He will be able to hex him up. King RD is going to find Omega Owner in the meantime, but there is the Tornado EMP out as well, and the Stampede will be able to get Baga out of trouble for the time being. Earn is there as well. Mercy Please leaps forward, but doesn't find Baga, who rotates back, and an easy single kill on that Ancient Apparition by King RD. And in the bot lane, everything going to stagnate for the moment. paiN has recovered somewhat. Bracer as well as the treads, 1200 gold, so he's about 1,000 away from a Blink Dagger if he opts for that route in terms of item progression. And things looking pretty good. 16 minutes in for VoidBoys still, despite losing that Ancient Apparition. He does have his level 6. Is building into a Midas, presumably, unless he builds treads with that. And I definitely would like the Midas on Omega Owner. Mercy Please gonna run into King RD. He'll blink out. And there can be a leap forward. Here's the Chrono. It doesn't land on 2, however. Mercy Please had the opportunity to do so. He'll waste his Chrono here. King RD can look to blink back in 2 seconds, but they will back off, worried about what waits in the shadows. And Ryu is going to be aggressed upon bot lane. There's the Magic Missile as well as the Medallion with the Wave of Terror. He's going to drop really quick. TP rotation's probably going to be cancelled here, but the King RD will come in and get immediately hit by the EMP. He's got no mana for this. paiN going to take a huge Shadow Wave to the face. Tornado going to go out onto the Dazzle, though. It's going to drop him extremely low. Tiburon gets in with a negative earn charge. Shadow Wave going to keep him up. Tiburon's going to get hexed up. Double Edge is there as well. Will they have enough right clicks to bring him down? Wave of Terror going to land out on King RD and Baga. King RD will rotate out and make it for the time being. Baga caught a little bit out of position here. Dark Pact from around the corner will bring him down. Ice Blast going to come through. It doesn't hit on King RD. And there will be a Song of the Siren pop from 4DR, but it looks like they'll just back off for the time being. 4DR going to have to TP out overall. 3 down for paiN. And no one actually dying for VoidBoys. Tiburon was able to make it away there, earn himself up, and he will look for this push now. Does he have his Orchid on the way? He does. And Midas, Recovery Midas for this Slark as well. So not going to opt for that Blink, is going to go for that Recovery Midas. I don't mind that choice here at all. And they will look to take a tier 1 as Mercy does continue to farm up the top lane. Meanwhile, simultaneous Midas coming out here. Omega Owner also gets his from the base, and no one grabbing the last hit there, unfortunately. But either way, Midas for the AA is out now. Taking a look at the hero levels, he's just at the bottom of the chart, so this will help him recover up and find his level 11 fairly soon. And also will help him build into an Ags, presumably. Mercy Please aggressed upon top lane, but he'll be able to time walk out. And is going to look to re-aggress here with the Ice Blast available. And he does have a Chrono at the ready, so King RD does have his Blink off cooldown. Now Ice Blast is going to land first. Chrono is on cooldown for Mercy. And not sure that he even realized that. There's the Impale, Stomp, and Finger. And raise your 3-2-2s chat, because I don't know what that leap was. Probably just looking at that leap cooldown and not at the Chrono cooldown for boy. That's a huge target to feed over. Was 3rd overall on net worth, still is. But either way, Relic and Radiance Recipe available for 4DR as he respawns here. And it looks like he did fall in the bot lane, or in his jungle, to the trio of Tiburon and Fly as well as paiN. I'm not sure if paiN was quite involved in that, but Omega Owner could be picked off here mid. He's been scouted out briefly by the creeps, and they will drop an Observer Ward high ground. That's barely going to scout him out here. And he's playing pretty safe, but Stampede is going to be used. Jump in, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge, Earth Spike. Going to finish him off. Actually, last right click from King RD is what gets the kill. But with that Midas pickup, AA will be okay to die here. But Orchid, bot lane onto Ryu. Magic Missile will be out there as well. Cold Snap and just a few right clicks. All that's needed for Tiburon. VSW will TP in too late. Mercy Please continuing to farm up in the mid lane. And we'll see if he ends up going for an Ags or a Maelstrom here. Drums are going to be built up by paiN, so that Recovery Midas already doing work for him. He's level 12, sitting at 2nd overall, despite having an absolutely abysmal start. Still has a pretty bad KD at 4, 5, and 2, but is a lot more relevant having picked up that Midas than he would have been without doing so. So he will rotate towards the top lane, find some farm here. Here's his level 13, and King RD roaming around with Baga continuously, looking to find kills. It certainly is what he needs to be doing, and does have the makings of that Force Staff as he buys out the Ring of Regen, and will take it up to himself in the mid lane. We'll find an Invis rune as well. It's going to be scouted out, however, by Tiburon, so they know that there's an Invis Centaur, and they are weary of that, so certainly playing defensively. Two-man smoke from Mercy and Fly here. They will be able to commit the Ice Blast to this as well, so any target that they find, barring any engagement from outside, like from the Lion, they should be able to kill, and they will go towards the bot lane. Ryu is going to be scouted out here. Chrono going to be committed. Fly's there as well with the Wave of Terror. Ice Blast is going to hit here, so not sure why it was being fired without the Chrono. Ryu going to be able to walk back. Soul Rip's going to keep him up. King RD going to rotate in. Hex, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge, Earth Spike out onto Fly as well. They're going to feed over 2 here. What was Omega Owner doing on the Ancient Apparition? He shot his Ice Blast here. So maybe it was an anticipatory Ice Blast, thinking that he would be there before getting chronoed, but they jump in very early from the two Void and Vengeful combo, and not sure if it was just a miscommunication whose fault that really was, either the AA or the ganking duo. Either way, paiN gonna rotate around under the cover of Shadow Dance and look to find something perhaps in the mid lane. 4DR not gonna show his face quite yet. He will plant a nice aggressive observer ward here in the Dire or Radiant jungle, and will TP back to the bot lane where this tower is deniable unless the siege kills it off. Won't be able to do so. paiN gonna need to bring this down, and he will. So nice deny there. Mid lane, King RD, Baga looking for something. And Mercy is here without a Chrono, however, so they won't be able to re-engage off that. 4DR farming fairly well, 10k net worth, 3k ahead of the Slark, or 2500 ahead of the Slark. But meanwhile, Cold Snap is going to catch out Baga here. Tornado gonna fly. It's going to land on King RD, very far range. Tiburon chasing him down with that Wex movement speed, but won't be able to follow it up. Cold Snap was on cooldown, and so they just find a Lion in the jungle. Not the biggest win there, but Blink now picked up 22 minutes in. Treads Midas Blink, not terrible for paiN. He will look to finally have some aggression here. Dying pretty tanky, so not the most ideal target to go on here. Will also pick up a Yule, so can dodge either the Pounce or the Dark Pact, or perhaps even both. And he will also be able to set up some Hoof Stomps with that. And so very nice pickup for the Undying. Is just a very nice utility item overall in general. paiN does not have his Shadow Dance active because he is farming here, but 4DR may run into him, and there is a lot of backup from the side of paiN, so a Song of the Siren would probably spell the death of this Slark, and he is going to blink back away from the duo of Baga and 4DR, who will split now as Baga is going to place a high ground ward. And Mercy continuing to farm mid lane. 1900 gold on him. Gonna be interesting to see what he builds into after this Mask of Madness. Smoke rotation here from 4 members of VoidBoys. They might find 4DR. They could find VSW. Their smoke's gonna get popped. Jump to the high ground, and instant Song of the Siren from 4DR. They're gonna be able to set this up with a 4-man weave. It could be a 3-man hoof stomp from King RD, but he's not gonna look to go in yet. Ice Blast is gonna land on 2, as well as the Chrono. Mercy, please, gonna be able to bring down 4DR. He's gonna get graved up. Will the grave be longer than the Ice Blast? It will not. He will still shatter on the Naga Siren. Meanwhile, Mercy, please, is gonna drop, as well as paiN. And the gem is on the deck. Fly is going to be next to fall under the tombstone there. He'll get a magic missile off. Won't matter. 3 for 1 going the way of paiN Gaming. Triple kill for Ryu on the Undying. And he's got 2,000 gold in addition to this Yule Scepter. Gem is on the deck. Will be picked up as the shattering Naga Siren did fall there. But certainly a big win for VoidBoys. They commit the Ice Blast as well. But look at that. They've got a 4,300 experience swing, 2,000 gold swing in their favor, and that is absolutely huge for paiN Gaming at this point. We'll take a look at the graphs. They spike right back to equilibrium, and any lead VoidBoys had is pretty much mitigated at this point, and they still have 5,000 in the way of experience, but this Naga is not expected to have an experience lead. She's expected to have a gold lead, and that she does with 11,000 net worth. The Invoker has kept up nicely, though. Tiburon has played much better than I would have expected him to with this build here. And he's 7-0-5 on this Invoker. Certainly the one bright spot for VoidBoys. He has picked up an Ultimate Orb on his way to his Hex and is not too far off of that. 1,200 gold there, so does still need 1,500 for that Mystic Staff, as well as another 875. So 2,500 gold away-ish from here, but he will be getting aggressive on Stampede. Drops there. There is a magic missile. There is the swap as well. Tries to get back, swaps him there. There's a tornado. Ice Blast gonna come in as well. King RD gonna drop pretty low. He's gonna have force back out, and the Earth Spike will land on Tiburon, but a jump forward from Mercy Please. He'll be able to shatter this Centaur, and he does. And Tiburon actually going to find the last hit with the Soulburn. Baga going to be able to TP out in the trees. Well guessed by Fly, but going to be a little too late. Curry here also in there. And no kills found elsewhere for either side. So very nice return kill. Well played again by Tiburon. Nice jump in by Mercy Please. Chrono's going to be there. He's going to find out the Dazzle. Mask of Madness is popped. Grave will not be able to get off one last time lock as the Chrono expires. And Mercy with an easy solo kill there. He's got a Mithril Hammer. He should have his Ogre Axe up as well. Meanwhile, in the jungle, though, Shadow Dance going to be popped here from paiN. He's getting fairly low. He has a Pounce in 1 second. Dark Pack not going to be enough. Negative Earn Tick will be there. Ice Blast doesn't catch anyone. Not sure exactly where it was fired. Either way. They will find the Slark, so a nice return kill going the way of paiN after losing their Dazzle and their Centaur. TP's mid lane are from King RD. No Stampede quite yet. Jump forward though. Stomp is going to land. There's a double edge as well. Baga going to be there with the Hex. Stampede is going to be popped. Earth Spike finishing the job. And Baga, 2,400 gold. Insta buys a Blink. And there'll be a lot of range of initiation now. Tiburon keeping up now, level 15 with the Midas. paiN also level 15, just ahead of, actually, Naga is 40R is the lowest on the experience chart. That's very interesting. With the Midas pickups from Omega Owner, he's got 2 components of his Ags. He's only 1,350 gold away from that. So VoidBoys, despite having a few bad engagements, still looking very good here in the mid game, and not too far off that BKB for their Void is Mercy Please. He's about 900 gold from that. And Roshan going to be scouted out here by Fly, perhaps. No one really giving Roche any love. Santa is very lonely, unfortunately. Christmas has been ruined, folks. But maybe they'll give him some love later on. Either way, bot lane, King RD, looking for Fly, may find him. Taking a look at the Radiant Vision. They will see him. Jump forward. King RD. Hoof Stomp is there. Nice zoning tornado from Fly. Baga's going to blink in, however. He'll get the Hex off. Yule's up onto the Invoker. TPs are in as well from the Naga. Ice Blast is going to fly and hit on 3. Big Ice Blast from the AA. That'll sound back the retreat of paiN. So good zoning one from Omega Owner here. That is a level 2 Ice Blast. If that was a 17-second duration, they may have killed off VSW there. Either way, the Grave should have been there, so he should have been fine. But Omega Owner is pretty close. Meanwhile, mid lane, Mercy Please gonna get caught out once again. And before picking up his BKB, still 900 gold away from that. This Void is now 5th overall on the net worth chart. Meanwhile, Tornado up bot lane onto Ryujin. paiN is there with a Dark Pack. Orchid up onto the Dazzle. Soul Rip will keep them up for now. He will drop, however. Ice Blast is gonna fly. He TPs. It's gonna hit him. Cold Snap will be there as well. And paiN finding a double kill on the Slark. He'll also get a killing spree off the Undying, so definitely want to take a look at the fight recap there and see what kind of advantage he accrued there. Beautiful 1,600 XP, almost 1,000 gold going the way of the Slark as well. That'll keep Tiburon with his out levels advantage here, and he'll have enough for a Mystic Staff as well, and soon to be a Void Stone, so that's going to be a huge pickup in the Hex for them. Meanwhile, Manta has been picked up by 40R, so still farming extremely well, but taking a look at the hero levels, has barely passed the support of VoidBoys at this point, and we will have the level 16 Shadow Dance from Slark, as well as the level 16 Chrono fairly soon from Mercy Please, if he can just stop feeding. And find his BKB as well. We haven't seen the Chrono usage for a little while now, and certainly would like to see that happen for the side of VoidBoys, but we will see another pause here, guys. This is an elimination game from JDL Season 4. We will see Ryu reconnect pretty quickly, so hopefully we can get this underway, and goes will be called from both squads. And therefore, Mercy Please unpausing here. Tiburon not too far off that Void Stone. Perhaps they look to sneak a Roche here. There is Radiant Vision on the cliff, so they will ping out Omega Owner here, and Ice Vortex He's just going to scout the high ground here. Vision from both teams is fairly good. Force forward from Baga. He's going to blink as well. He'll get the Hex off on Mercy, please. Once again, Mercy, please. Rather than saying Mercy, please, I want to say Mercy, please. Stop feeding. Either way, that Void, looking at the KDA, terrible. 3, 7, and 5. Has the most deaths in the game, tied with paiN. Fortunately for paiN, he picked up that recovery Midas and has been able to pick up an ultimate orb and recover and farm to the 3rd position on the net worth. He will be able to Dark Pact and pounce to the high ground. Nice play from him to get away from King RD, who was aggressing on him. Omega Owner is going to posture up pretty defensively here. He will throw out a nice Vortex, which looks like it barely scouted Ryujin. Not sure if it was able to, but they do know that they are aggressing on their tier 2 here. paiN has a TP at the ready, is farming up the Radiant jungle right now. Hex comes out, and they are certainly not privy to this for paiN Gaming, so this Hex could be massive from Tiburon in this team fight. He cannot force in, doesn't have a Force Staff. Do any of his teammates at this point? There is no Force Staffs on the side of VoidBoys, so unfortunately he won't have the initiation there, but they could swap back into a Hex perhaps, and it looks like they will just sack their tier 2 for now. And they won't even look to deny it. And in fact, the illusion just expiring, so unfortunately they won't get that. But paiN does deny the tower in the mid lane. But either way, map control established a little bit more for paiN Gaming. Almost all their outer tier towers are available, only missing the one in bot lane. Meanwhile, every single one except for this off lane tier 2 is down for VoidBoys. Mercy, please, gonna farm some ancients probably in the safer place on the map. He's been going for this BKB recipe, never mind BKB, for about 6 minutes now after all those deaths, and he's had the Mithril Hammer and the Ogre Club up for a while. Jump forward from King RD. He's gonna get the Hoof Stomp onto Omega Owner, but will have to use the Stampede defensively. Jump forward from Baga, though. There's the Finger of Death as well. Double Edge gonna finish off the Ancient Apparition. Meanwhile, swap back onto King RD. If he feeds his life over for this, it's certainly not worth it. There will be a grave from him, but the EMP is gonna follow, and he'll probably tick down afterwards. Orchid is there on King RD. One last right click from Tiburon. He still hasn't revealed this Hex, so unless they've clicked on him, that's a godlike Invoker. 9-0 and 7 on Tiburon, being absolutely manly in this game. They will do some dewarding on the high ground as well. Meanwhile, probably look to take Roche here from the side of paiN with the Centaur down, knowing that everyone is back. They could look to take Roche, but they just don't have enough right click, with 4DR being their main source of it. And he will pick up a heart now. Does he have the Vit booster? No. So he does have exactly enough gold, 4,300 gold. And he will pick up that full heart. So won't have buyback for this next engagement, but will be extremely tanky now. And 4DR going to be pretty scary at this point. 18,000 net worth. Despite all these engagements going VoidBoys' way, you see the net worth advantage being generated slowly but surely by paiN with this Naga, who is farming completely uncontested. And we take a look at the hero levels now, and it is still level 14, so it is still pretty under leveled. paiN has actually taken over, and the virtues of that Midas are certainly showing their face. He does have 200 gold away from his second ultimate orb towards that Scotty, and will have it a decent timing. Certainly not an ideal timing, but all things considered, and the start he had, this Slark is doing well. 4DR looking for some initiation here. They're asking for a Cliff Ward from the side of paiN, but they're not going to find anyone. No one biting bot lane. 2-man smoke in the mid lane from Fly and Tiburon, and they do know that most of the people are here. They're going to have some illusions scout things out. paiN is going to walk through solo, so he looks to be alone here. And perhaps Tiburon finds a nice engagement with a 2-man tornado here. He will just find one onto Baga. Jump forward. There's a BKB from Mercy. And the Ice Blast is going to land. Not going to hit anyone. It actually does glancingly hit Ryujin. There's a Chrono on 2, though. 4DR does have the Song of the Siren, but he's not going to use it. VSW going to drop very low. Meanwhile, the Invoker finally goes down. That's a huge streak fed over to the Centaur. Forced back onto Fly. They're chasing him down. Cold Feet not going to prop on King RD. And Snare goes out onto Fly. He'll be able to be used up. He'll get a magic missile off on the King RD, but he'll die as well. 5-man wipe, triple kill for the Naga Siren, and keeps that Song of the Siren in tow, so they can certainly go high ground here for the Brazilian squad. Will they be able to do it, guys? They have the advantage that they accrued from this Naga, and 4DR just way too tanky with that heart. And now buyback comes out from the Invoker here. He fed over a lot of gold to King RD, who picked up a full BKB in light of that. And Tornado EMP is going to land onto King RD. He'll actually get forced out, but all his mana still drained. Regardless, they are going to lose their tier 3 and potentially the melee racks as well. Tiburon trying to drag back the creep wave. Does have the Meteor ready, but You won't be able to clean too much up with this tombstone here. Ryu completely zoning him out with the decay stacks, and now this melee Rax doomed to fall, and the range Rax will probably suffer the same fate fairly soon. But a lot of people respawning here. Chrono is not up for 41 seconds, but really paiN just playing it safe, content with their spoils, as they should be. 35 minutes into the game, base is broken, and they do find the melee Rax and the tier 3 there, so certainly the more important Rax. And they also have all of their outer tier towers sitting pretty right now, with their tier 1 even in that mid lane almost at 100% HP. So VoidBoys gonna be hard pressed to find objectives, even if they find a good engagement, as these T1s will refresh the glyph. So their best choice of action, if they do find a good engagement, is to go for this tier 2 bottom and push into this lane. And it only makes sense as well, considering that their lane here is the one that has been pushed into. They will deward the high ground here, perhaps, as paiN does scout that out with his Shadow Dance passive. And gonna have to ferry over a sentry from Omega Owner, and they will be able to bring that down here. He's also got the Ice Vortex to go to jump forward from Mercy Please. Blink out though from Baga. Will the tornado catch him at wall? He's got a haste rune, and that's an 8 or 9 second BKB wasted by Mercy Please. That's his 9-second BKB absolutely wasted, and he will be able to be ensnared through BKB as well. So as this dwindles down, he's more susceptible to the Lion as well as the Centaur, and even the tombstone effects, so should be worried certainly for this Void. Meanwhile though, BB, paiN, and Fly are looking to take this Roche with the Medallion and the Wave of Terror. Mercy Please even going to jump in as well. They should be able to sneak this with relative ease. I believe this is the first Roshan of the game, however. And paiN with a full Scotty now should be the one picking up this Aegis, and he will have free reign to look to play aggressive on this Slark, and perhaps we finally do see the effects of this Scotty Slark now. 37 minutes into the game, your score is 29-25 in favor of paiN, but in terms of the metrics, the advantage is a little larger in their favor. Stampede, jump forward, there's a Hex onto Tiburon, he'll get blown up immediately. Ice Blast is not going to land, it's going to be a little bit short. Baga should go down in the Chrono here, however. Grave was not going to be able to have gotten off by VSW. Chrono's used though, and they've only lost a Lion, so they're certainly willing to go forward. King RD is going to whiff the stomp, but Omega Owner is going to go down here. paiN trying to do work in the backlines, but he's not going to find anyone, and those two are down without buyback for VoidBoys. This could be another lane of Rax. Magic Missile goes out onto Ryu. No Chrono is available, however. Jump in from paiN. He's looking to take into 4DR. That's the wrong target, buddy. Way too tanky is that Naga Siren. He's going to get hit with the Hoof Stomp. Double edges there as well. Decay. That's the Aegis, and he will respawn here, but probably to his own death. Ensnare is available as well from 4DR. He's going to get the Dark Pact off. Will be able to pounce away as he purges, but the Soul Rip is going to finish off the Venge here. There's no buyback available for the Venge as well, and it looks like the Brazilians are doing it. So for VoidBoys, after looking very good in game 1, methodically picked apart in game 2. The melee Rax going to go down top as well in game 3. Illusion's doing work bottom to bring down this range Rax here, but paiN going to clean that up, and they won't be able to bring that down. However, 2 melee Rax now down, and the gold advantage widening now for this Naga Siren and her crew. 425 losses, 25,000 net worth, 10k ahead of the next nearest target, which is the Slark. After going godlike, he's gone 1 and 2, has Tiburon on this Invoker. And they will look to continue to put punishment in here. They've regrouped, healed up, and 4DR walking right back into mid lane. Got the Song of the Siren at the ready. The Weave is at the ready as well. So all that they need, even the Finger of Death here available at level 2 for Baga. He needs 1 creep until level 3 here, though, and he does now find it. That's a great time to find that Finger, that 40-second cooldown. If the engagement draws out long enough, you may be able to use it twice. And of course, the damage from that now at 850 before resistances, so, or before reductions, I should say. And 1,700 gold on Mercy. He's not going to find much. Tornado is going to whiff completely. We'll just clean up this wave top lane. paiN pushing out here, but he's going to get jumped in on by Baga. Finger of Death is there. Hoof Stomp as well. He's going to get swapped back by Fly to the high ground, and 4DR will whiff the Riptide. Goes to look for a reinitiation here, but the sleep from 4DR, and they can bring down the Venge pretty quickly. Ice Blast is going to fly out. Chrono onto 2, but Ice Blast only going to hit on Baga. They will look to take down the Lion, but the mech is there. Lion going to get graved up as well. paiN looking very unhealthy under the Shadow Dance. He'll pounce to the low ground. Mercy Please does go down, though, and he does have buyback, but the GG is called. And beautiful play from the Brazilians in this game 3, folks. Can you believe it? They'll take down VoidBoys here in Game 3, and they are moving on to the finals of the American Division 1 playoffs in the JDL Season 4, facing up against Wheelwreck while whistling. Wheel has looked very good, and it will be much more than just a formidable foe for paiN Gaming, so they will have their work cut out for them. That game is not quite scheduled, I believe. I'll just double check. Yeah, it is not, but either way, guys, join us for more JDL coverage tomorrow. Europe Division 2, SS versus BBC, Fab 5 versus London Conspiracy. That starts tomorrow at 18 CET, so that's 12 o'clock noon for those of you on the East, and 9 o'clock Pacific in the AM. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I am Maurice, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is HeflaTV. If you like the cast, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, etc. /HeflaTV, and the VODs will be up on youtube.com/HeflaMoke fairly soon. If you liked my cast, you can follow me on Twitter at MRP_Dota, and certainly do critique me, guys. I'm always looking to get better, so I really appreciate your support. And GG Brazil, we take them down in 2 games. paiN Gaming taking down VoidBoys in these JDL playoffs. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you soon. This is more Rage Please, signing out.